Hello everyone. It's Friday night. Yay. And Cookie and I say hello. And here's the funny thing. I closed the door so that the cats wouldn't come in and bug us during, because, both Crumpet and Merlot like to jump up on the table while I'm live. So I closed the door so that they can't come in. And just as I'm going live just now, I hear this weird noise and I realize that Merlot's actually already under the table in here already. He's given himself a bath. So much for me shutting him out. He's already here. He snuck in while I wasn't watching. Oh, sounds like, Rose, you've got some good news. How exciting is that? So I'm just reading the comments over here, and I see that a few of you have been chatting before I arrived, so that's always nice. Ah, isn't that fantastic, Rose? Congratulations. Yay. We love to hear that. Hi, Anna. How are you going? Nice to see you, Lynn. Hey, Marilyn. Hi, Cherie. Chris. Oh, my goodness. We've got lots of people in here tonight. Hey there, Margaret. Nicole, all the way from Perth. Hello. It was stunning, stunning weather here in the eastern part of Australia this week. I think it got to 27 degrees Celsius here today, which is a beautiful warm day. And I believe tomorrow it's going to get to 30. So I just put my jacket on just before we started because I thought I might be cool enough for the jacket tonight, but I have been in short sleeves all day long. How about everyone else? Whereabouts are you? And have you been enjoying some lovely weather as well? Whether you're here in Australia or whether you're somewhere else. Hey there, Deb. Nice to see you. Let me see. And so many people to say hi to, and I'm so sorry if I don't say hello to everyone individually because there's just so many of you. But it's lovely that you're all here. I'm so happy. Oh, that's really good. I'm so glad, Rose. That must feel amazing. Fantastic news, honey. We love that. Cherie has a question. What do you do with all the lovely wooden stamp blocks that I've removed the rubber stamps from? That's a very good question. I don't know. Would you be able to repurpose them in some way? Has anyone got any suggestions for Cherie? I don't know the answer. She's asking what to do with because she's been removing her rubber stamps from the wooden blocks and is now wondering what to do with the leftover blocks. Make a fairy path in your garden with them. That's what Nicole suggested. Isn't that a cute idea? That's super fun. The first thing that comes to my mind, but I think it'd be more trouble than it's worth. Remember what do they call those things? There's a name for them. The little blocks that they use to teach maths to kids. Where got the 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter block, and then 2 and 3 and 4. What do they call those? It starts with a Q, I think, from memory. I know it. So there you go, building blocks for the kids. Yeah, paint them different colors. They could be fun for building blocks. That's a really good idea. Weird Jenga, isn't it? Jenga, Subu? Donate to a kindy. That's a good idea. You could paint them all different colors. Cuisinaire, that's what I'm thinking of. You knew what I meant, didn't you, Cherie? Yeah, those little blocks, I remember them very fondly. I used to really love how they all fitted together, and they actually worked, I think. They helped me because I'm a visual learner. I know that now. I didn't know it when I was a kid, but I think it really helped me to visualize the mathematics of adding and subtracting the Cuisinaire rods. Yeah. Thanks, Deb. You got it too. Yes. Oh, that's a good point, Leslie. Yes, the air quality has improved. Yesterday was really bad actually because they were doing quite a number of burn-offs in this area. They're getting ready for summer because they're predicting that it's going to be a bad summer for bushfires. I hope that's wrong. I hope they're completely wrong. I'm happy for them to be wrong. And I won't be cross. If they're wrong, I'll be very happy about it. So, but just to be safe, they're doing a lot of burning off. And so there was a lot of smoke around yesterday. And I don't suffer with asthma, thank goodness, but I have some friends who do, and I know they really struggle when it's smoky. Fairy doors, yep, another cool idea. Oh, you still have a box of Cuisinaire rods. There you go. You've lost the remote to turn the TV off. Am I on the TV? Did you want to turn me off? Is that what's happening, Margaret? It's a bit early to be upset with me just yet, isn't it? You found it. But I assume it means you wanted to turn the TV off because you were watching something else, right? Were you? That's an interesting fact. See, there's something I would never have guessed about you, Deborah. Deborah was in the paper when she was 7 years old showing how to use the Cuisinart rods. We have a celebrity in our midst. Yes, today it's Friday, Rose. I confused Rose yesterday because I went live yesterday just to do a quick little live for Are You OK Day, and Rose said I'd confused her because she felt like it was Friday. Well, you thought it was Friday even before I turned up, right? And then I just confirmed it for you. Ah, that's cool, Cheryl. So you've got some spare boxes for the grandkids. That's okay, Margaret. I understand. I'm just joking with you. Yeah, they're great, Nicole. They really are a good resource, and I know they helped me learn some of my maths skills when I was little, and I really enjoyed using them, which is great because I ended up hating maths as a teenager when I was in high school. Absolutely hated it and was no good at it. Struggled with algebra and all that sort of stuff. But I loved the Cuisinart rods when I was in junior school. So, hey, Ellen, how you doing? Hey, Joan. All right. Shall we get going? Gosh, we've been chatting for a while tonight, but we've had some really good news tonight. For anyone who missed it, Rose is doing better, so we're very, very excited about that. Very cool. All right, I think I'll switch over to the desk. Let's do that. And my desk is a big empty space right now. So let me see if I can actually, I think it's a little bit skewy. That's all right. That's not too bad. Let me push it up here. And that might just go better. There we go. That's not too bad. Oh, that of course it's great for. It's like 2.5-year-old Jenga. Just knock them all over, build them up, knock them down. Great fun. Well, tonight I've got a couple of things. I did ask somebody, but then she didn't reply. If she asked me what the name of the new kit out, we had a new kit come out this week, and then she never replied to. I said, "Would you like to see it? Would you like me to show it in the live?" And she didn't reply. So I can show the kit, but maybe we'll leave that for Sunday night. And I thought we might have a play. I know we have done a card with this a couple of weeks ago. We did some pink flowers, but I thought we might do some different flowers tonight with the new masks. They're called Abundant Beauty masks. Let me show them to you in the catalogue. And then I'm going to combine these with some new paper that has just come out. Some of you may have, I think it's page, oh, now I can't remember. Page, let me think, 47? Yes, 47. There we go. So these are the Abundant Beauty masks. Oh, goodness me. That's hard to say. I don't know why. I struggle with some words, and it seems that mask is one of them. Actually, I think it's mask with an S on the end that I'm struggling with. You're allowed to stay tonight. I don't remember that promise, but okay, let's go with that. But they've got some really nice, like these masks have been used beautifully. They used them and then they ran them through that gorgeous embossing folder, this, what's it called? It's the one that's part of the autumn set, this one, Distressed Tile, which is really, really nice, and it looks lovely with those flowers. I think that's a really lovely idea. I did a card with this today, actually, with the masks, but I can't show it to you yet because it's part of a video hop that I'm in. Next Friday night is video hop night, so it'll go live then. So you'll get to see it then, but I really like the card that I made for the video hop. You don't struggle with words. Sometimes I do. I have a bit of a lisp, and some words throw me, and it seems that masks, I think because it has so many S's in it, I think that's a problem for me. That's why. Oh, that's all right. Yes, it was you, Moira. That's right. That's okay. And I wasn't sure if you wanted to see it or not. If you did want to see it, I could. I think I'll show it Sunday night, and we might actually make something with it. We'll do something alternative to what's actually in the kit. So how about that? Would you like that if I did that, Moira? Let me know if you think that sounds like a good idea. Okay, so we also have some new papers that came out. And actually, I'm not a massive fan of this flyer because they do give us some flyers to play with to help, you know, talk to our customers about things. And it's good in that it reminds me to talk to you, but it doesn't show the paper very well. So I'm going to show you the paper, well, the ones that I've got. There are 5 new papers, and I've got 3 of them at the moment. I've got a 4th one on its way to me and a 5th one that I haven't purchased. I've decided I can probably live without it, but yeah, just how that goes. So I'm going to show you a couple of them tonight, only because they are my favorite ones. I bought the 3 that I like the best in the first release, and well, let me get them out so that you can see them well. The first one we're going to play with tonight, and it's called Tartan Foil. Okay, so you can see there are 2 sheets of each of these in the pack. All right, so there are 2 sheets of the copper clay. Let me just try and get this off without I'm actually ripping that because it's stuck to my, never mind, it's okay. It's only the back. I just won't use that side. So there are 2 sheets of the copper clay, 2 sheets of the pebbled path. Can you see how nice it is? It's very shiny. And 2 sheets of the Lost Lagoon. Okay, and they're in this lovely tartan design. And on the back, you've got the same color, so the pebble path on this one with white. Okay, and then the Lost Lagoon has Lost Lagoon and white, and the copper clay has copper clay and white. All right, so they're really, really nice. You could use them together. They would look really nice together. But I thought tonight I would use one of them. So I'm going to set those aside and we will have a little play with them. So these came out on the 6th of September, the same day that the catalogue came out, but they're not in the catalogue. Oh, that's all right, Carol. Don't ever apologise for being late. Okay, it's completely fine. Okay, Moira, I've got it. We'll do that Sunday night. I hope that you can watch. Okay, so that was the first one. Like I said, it's called Tartan Foils, 12 by 12. Then we have this one that I really, really like, and it's called, something shining. Now I haven't got the packet in front of me. I can look it up unless somebody knows. But this is really nice because it's shiny, shiny. See, isn't this lovely? You can see how shiny it is. So one side has like the shiny side. This is, and it's cherry cobbler and mossy meadow is the color in this. And on the back, you've got your design. This one with the little Christmas lights. Really rather nice. Yes, it would be good with the autumn leaves bundle. And I have seen it used with the autumn leaves bundle, which is really nice, Leslie. How are you going, by the way? I hope you're well. We have this one with the little prezzies on it, shiny side, and then the not shiny side. We've got some cherry cobbler ornaments. Then we've got some little candy canes, shiny side. And then we've got little crosses on the not shiny side. Actually, it would make good Christmas crackers. I didn't think of that, Glenda. That's a really great idea. Love the idea. We have a Christmas cracker die too. All right, so then we've got the shiny side. Look at that. The other side has got like almost like a herringbone kind of a design. We already looked at that one, didn't we? We looked at that one? Yeah, we did. That's the one I just looked at. More of those. Now, this is my favorite. My personal favorite is this one. I love a harlequin design. Look how nice that is. Isn't that pretty? And where it's shiny, it almost looks like it's different shades of red. So you've got the cherry cobbler when it's flat, and then it almost looks, I don't know, a bit pinky red when it's shiny. And on the back of that one, we've got some little ornaments in cherry cobbler. We've got some holly with red spots in the background. And then on the back, we got dots. Never go wrong with dots. And that one we already saw. So super, super cute. Love it. If I could just remember the name of it. Should I look that up? I don't think Megan's here tonight, so she hasn't told me what it is. Goodness me. Megan, I think I rely on you too much, honey. I just can never... Let me find... Okay, so the set with the... it's called Shining Christmas, okay? Shining Christmas is the name. It's a specialty paper, 12 sheets of 12 by 12 paper, and it's $27 here in Australia. where the tartan paper there's only 6 sheets, and that's $17.50 here in Australia. If you're overseas, that will be a different price, so check with your demonstrator. Then the last one that I've got so far, I have ordered the Traditions of St. Nick paper because I like the B sides of that paper. I love that it's like wallpaper. It's just beautiful. But the other paper that I got, let me grab it for you. And I'd like to use it tonight. Let's see if I can incorporate it. There's 2 sheets in a pack. Okay, one 12 by 12. You can see I've cut mine up, but 12 by 12 in the so it's the glimmer. And you're probably thinking, yeah, we've had glimmer before, Linda. That's nothing exciting. Gold and silver. Okay, nothing exciting, except there is something exciting. Okay, and that is, let me see. Actually, I might have one already here. Let me see. All right, let me look at this one. So I've already cut some pieces out of this, but look, it's adhesive backed. Woohoo! We haven't had that before. We haven't had silver and gold adhesive backed paper. How exciting. And so I used it in a card earlier this week. In fact, we could even make that card tonight. So maybe we will. I don't know. All right, so I'm going to start by making a card with the masks, like I said, and then we'll go from there. Okay, I might do a card. So I did a card earlier. Let me grab it for you. That I used this, and this is those shining papers. Can you see how shiny they are? Very, very pretty. And that's the back of one of the sheets. Okay. I've used the gold adhesive circle, and of course a vellum circle, because we can't not make a vellum circle. And then I've used the Wishing You a Very Merry Christmas from the Joy to You stamp set, and a couple of bit of blings. But if anyone would like me to make that card, I certainly can. Okay. Easy card, but I would like to make it. I would like to make it for you at some point. If not tonight, then Sunday maybe. Oh, that's okay, Joan. Never late. Don't ever worry. I think those papers are fabulous, Lynn. The silver and gold adhesive paper is awesome. So, so good. You got 6 packs of the glimmer. Woohoo. Yes, very good for Christmas. So you actually just answered Lynn's question. Lynn said she thinks the silver and gold adhesive paper will be very popular. And Lynn, Leslie bought 6 packs of it. So I think you're right. Don't you think? So that's pretty funny. All right. So let's start. I've got a couple of ideas of things I wanted to do tonight, but I want to use the tartan paper. So I'm going to grab a piece. I've got a piece of, is that thick or is that not thick? Let me just see. I've got some thick Whisper. Sorry, this is very vanilla thick. All right. So I'm going to, this is a half a sheet of A4, and I'm going to cut this. Sorry, I'm going to fold that in half again. And I'm going to grab my bone folder if I have one handy. Yes, I do. And I'm going to fold that down. All right. Pop that aside for a second. And then I've got a piece. I've already cut this one to size. This, actually, is that right? Let me check and see if that is the right size. Yeah, that's a good size. So I've got early espresso because it's a nice dark color. And I'm going to cut, this is 8 centimeters across by 12 long. Okay. And then what I want to do is I want to grab the tartan paper. So I'm just going to, and I'm deciding which way to go actually with this. I could go Pebble Path. That would actually look okay, but I think I want to go with the autumn colors instead. So I'm going to cut that one. And I'm going to grab my trimmer. I've had a friend here today helping me with a few things because I was, she comes over like once a month, sometimes twice in a month, and just helps me out with a few things. And the day she comes is so good because I feel like I can actually breathe. Feel like I caught up. So I'm making this slightly smaller. So my piece of early espresso is 8 across. So this is 7.5. Can you see that's going to fit right inside that? Okay. and then we'll make it 11.5 long to fit inside the 12 centimeter piece. So this is 7.5 by 11.5 to go on my 8 by 12 piece. All right, just like that. You can use whatever glue or adhesive you happen to have at your disposal. And looks like I've got some Tombos, so that sounds fine. And I'm just going to pop that. Whoop. Well, that's a big blob of glue. That's okay. We'll just spread it around a little bit and we'll make it work. Yeah, it's a really nice glimmer. I mean, we always seem to have really nice glimmers, but the gold and silver being adhesive is just that little bit extra special. All right, so I've got this piece now, and I hope you can see how nice this paper is. It is a foil paper. It's really, really pretty. All right, so I'm thinking this might take us a little bit of time tonight, but that's okay. I'm going to grab, I've got a piece of Very Vanilla. This is just normal Very Vanilla, not the thick stuff. And I'm going to use my masks, and I'm going to do it in classic colors. So I'm going to make it sunflower colors. Last time we did it in pinks. Do you remember that? And I need my sunflowers. I need the centers. I need the, well, I don't know if I need the leaves. I will need the highlights, but let's start by doing this straight onto my, because I'm actually going to cut these out. Yes, I know that's a bit of extra work, but I wanted to do that today because I think it will look really nice. So I'm going to use Crushed Curry because Crushed Curry is a really good sunflower color. And I'm going to start by using my blending brush and picking up a bunch of ink off the surface of the brush. And I'm going to start right here in the middle. And I'm going to go out towards the outsides. And the reason I'm doing this is it's going to mean it's going to be lighter on the outsides and darker in the middle where I started. I'm coming back into the middle again. All right, so I'm deciding, do I need more than one? Look, let's do all three. And it won't matter if we don't use them all. But I'm definitely using the big one. But I might as well do them all while I'm here. And then a little bit more color here. And out towards the outsides. And a bit more intense in the middle because I want more color there. All right. So even just doing them like that, don't they look good? Don't you think they are fantastic? I love the effect of these. Oh, Nicole, we're so sorry. You got to go for a walk. Well, it's still daylight over there, right? It's not daylight here. It's pitch black dark. But we'll see you soon. Hopefully catch up with you very soon. All right, so I'm going to say that that's done enough. And then I'm going to add, all right, so this is what I was talking about with the notch. See this little notch here? I'll put it against a darker color so you can see it. See the notch here in my plastic? So this actually helps me know where to line up my pieces. So if I was to put this back down, there's a couple of ways. I mean, when we did this before, you might remember, but if I was to put this down where I want it to go, I'm going to have the big one, the medium sized one, and like so the three sizes are there. But if I put this on top, I can see that isn't quite lined up because you can actually see through these. And I'm just going to move it slightly to where it wants to be. That's right. And I've matched my notches. And so now that's in the right spot. Now the color I wanted to do in the middle is Pecan Pie because it's a really nice color and kind of a medium brown. And this is a lot like soft suede, but not quite. It's softer. It's surprisingly softer than soft suede. All right, so I'm just going to I'm not going to go too dark because you can go as dark as you like, but I don't want to go too dark because I want to add the detail with my darkest color, which is going to be the early espresso. And I'm just putting those on there. All right. And then this one is going to be the next one. Okay, now this little notch here goes over the top and matches up with that one. You can, if you want to, totally up to you. You can put them, like you can just line this up with your pattern and just do it straight on there. But if you do it with the notch, you know it's going to be exactly right. So let me grab my early espresso. The only thing is I think my early espresso ink needs re-inking. So it might not be, we'll see. Let's see how it goes. So let's put that on there. Right, I think it is going to be dark enough. And then this one here. Now you're wondering how to clean your masks. I just swipe them up with baby wipe after I've finished. You can use your chamois too if you want to. But baby wipe's easy if you've got one handy. All right, let's see how that's looking. Look at that. Aren't they pretty? I think they're really, really nice. Now, something else you can do, this is completely optional, is if you wanted to, you could put this back exactly where it was, and you can do that by lining it up so that you can't see the lines anymore. And if I wanted to, I could just sort of add a little bit more color right there in the middle to like a bit of shadow in the middle of my flower. I'm not going very far around with it. And I'm not adding any extra ink to my brush either. I just want it to add a little bit of shadow. Also, you could use a mini blending brush for this if you wanted to go really close, especially with the little one. All right, so now they've got a little bit more of a brassy tone to them, which I quite like. Aren't they great? I think that's a really nice. So I've got a cat wanting to go outside. Give me 1 second. I better let him out, or there'll be a performance. Silly duffer, you shouldn't have come in. There you go. Out you go. All right. Crumpet was waiting outside for him to come out. That's why he's at the door. All right. So these are looking really good. And obviously you can have a lot of fun with these. I just think they're really, really beautiful. But I'm actually going to cut them out. Okay. So it'll take me a little while to do that, but I think it's going to be worth it. So I'm deciding which ones. I said I wanted to do the big one, and I'm thinking about putting it, so this is going to be in the middle, and I'm thinking, you know, I want one down here towards the bottom, maybe. That's sort of what I'm thinking. The other option is we could have another one and then maybe another one up the top, but do we really want to cut them all out? What do you think? When it comes to cutting these, I would, because it's like a little bit of a gap in between each petal, I would also leave, and I do this anyway, but I think it looks really nice to leave a little bit of a gap between the outside of the petal and where you're cutting. So your cut line needs to be just sort of out a little bit, not right on the edge of the petals. Whoops, would help if I put it in, hey? Can everyone hear me okay? I'm just... I think when I cut or colour, I go very quiet, and so do whenever I run a class. If I want a quiet class, just add colouring or cutting to the class, because everyone goes quiet when you cut and colour. Their tongues come out and they start just concentrating, I guess. Does anyone else find the same? But I'm making an effort not to be too boring. I don't want to stop talking completely, because then you'll wonder what's going on. But it is quite, it's quite mesmerizing, I think, cutting, don't you? Who doesn't like cutting? You hear me fine? Good, good. I personally like to cut, but I know not everybody does. Anyone else? Do I have any fellow love to cut people, or does everyone else hate it? Love to hear what you guys think. So can you see how this is coming together? It looks, because of the shading and the way you add depth of color when you do your masking, it makes it almost look 3D. And I love that about these. It's difficult to get that much. The distinctive stamps, you get some of that because of the light and the dark when you stamp them, but it's hard to get this level of texture, I guess, from stamps. But yeah, the distinctive stamps will give you a little bit of that. You like to fussy cut, Katrina. Good to know. Yeah, I do too. Oh, hey, Megan, there you are. See, where were you when I needed you 5 minutes ago? It's all right. I found out what I needed to know. You're just very handy. And I do appreciate that. You know that, right? Megan is our resident. Find the item and put the item number up on the screen for everybody in the comments. Let's see. All right, we're nearly there. You can take your time too when you do cutting like this. You don't have to rush it. So I think this is going to be quite nice down towards the bottom here. What do you think? I think it needs to go that way. How do we like it with this, with the tartan in the copper clay? Do we like that? What do you think? Too intricate? Yes, I know what you mean, Glenda. You like colouring in. You do like cutting, or you're not sure? That's okay. No problems at all, Megan. I'm just joking. But yes, I was asking if anyone knew the name of a particular paper set, but we worked it out. I found it. All right, so I am going to cut these. I know this is going to make my video a little longer tonight, but hopefully not too long, because the next card should be very quick. So that'll make it okay. I try and keep to around the hour, but it's almost impossible. We nearly always go over. How are we doing for time tonight? We're at 32 minutes, so that's not too bad. Okay. Now, while I'm talking about this, I do have something I want to tell you. I have today, my helper and I got all my Craft Along kits, supply packs in the mail. So if you are, if you placed an order with me last month, $60 or more, as I do every month, I then send out for the following month's Craft Along event. I send the supply pack to everyone who ordered. So this is every order in Australia over $60. All right, and I sent those off today. In fact, I put a picture of it up on my Instagram page, and I think Facebook page too. So there's lots of gold and vanilla in this particular one. I did run a poll in my VIP group asking which set they would like me to do a class with this month. And so this month's voted class is the Stars at Night bundle. So we're doing some beautiful, beautiful starry creations. I'm very excited about all the things that we're going to be doing. And I have got a whole bunch of different cards that you can make with those. We'll be doing one card in our actual live class on Saturday, next Saturday the 23rd at 2 o'clock Sydney time. We'll be doing a particular card that I'm going to give you a couple of variations on the card. It can be very simple, or you can turn it into like a fun fold. It is kind of a fun fold card, but there's a simple version and a stepped up version. So I'm going to show you both types, and then you can decide which one you want to make. So that's a bit exciting. The DSP is beautiful, isn't it? It's gorgeous. So I'm nearly there with this one. This is the last flower that we're doing. And once these are done, then the card just gets glued together and it's done. So there's a bit of a I don't know, fussing around with the fussy cutting. But once we are done with this, it's actually a quick and simple card. So I'll stamp a sentiment, and then we'll just put it all together. So you just have to be patient for this bit. Can everyone see I'm sort of got my little bit of a gap around here? Looks good, doesn't it? Cookie is quiet tonight. He's eating. That's why. He's got his head in his food bowl. I'm quiet when I eat too, so I can't blame him for that. You find the scissors slide down your thumb and, oh, that's not good, Subu. Is it with all scissors or just paper snips? Or I find the shorter paper snips work really well for me for this kind of cutting. A larger pair of scissors I don't like to cut with. I like to have a short pair. But my big serious scissors are my ribbon scissors. And those ones, they're the ones that the first time Stampin' Up brought them out, they were around in Australia, they were around the $57 mark. I think they were $56.95 from memory. They were very expensive anyway, in my opinion, for a pair of scissors. My hairdresser assured me that that's not expensive for scissors. But for papercraft scissors, it seemed like a lot to me. And then one day, my son decided to use them to cut his Lego with, and they were ruined from that point on. And I was not very impressed with that little adventure of his in his bedroom. So when that happened, he was very sternly spoken to, and I bought myself another pair of scissors. And then Stampin' Up didn't make them anymore. That's not your fault, Subu. We all have different fingers. There's nothing wrong with whatever fingers God gave you, hey? They do all the basic things that we need them to do. But yeah, I was not impressed with the Lego cutting. So I bought another pair, and then Stampin' Up didn't sell them anymore. So I hung on to them, and made sure that everyone knew that they were only for ribbon, not to be used for anything else. And then when I was on my trip with Stampin' Up to back in 2018, we got to go on a trip to the Greek Isles, which was lovely, except I'm deciding where these should go. Do I want this one up here, or do I want this? Maybe I want the bigger ones. I think that looks good. What do you think? Do we like this? Or should I put the smaller one? What do you guys think? Should we have just the two? Do you think we need three at all? Should I be saving the third one for something else? What do you think? I know, right? Hairdressing scissors are very expensive. My hairdresser was telling me a pair she had that were $1,000. I'm like, really? $1,000 for a pair of scissors? So, oh, Joan said two. So you think just two flowers and leave the third one out? And should I go with the small one if I'm going to do that? I think maybe the small one. I think maybe this is too much. Maybe I save that one for something else. It would look nice. Something else, right? You like the two flowers, and we don't want the big one at the top. We don't. That's too much. All right. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on dimensionals, this one here. So, oh, there's my scissor paste. So yeah, I had them. It's a long story. I won't go right through it, but I had my scissors confiscated when I got on the boat in Rome to go on the Greek Isles cruise. The small one, okay, small. Yep, okay, got it. And it was heartbreaking. He just held them up and dropped them in the bin. And that was the end of those scissors. And I was heartbroken because I knew I wouldn't be able to get any more. But have you seen my ribbon scissors, guys? See these? They're my ribbon scissors, okay? And see on the side here somewhere, there it is. It says Stampin' Up. Can you see that? Hang on. You can't see it because it's the light. Anyway, it does. Trust me, it says Stampin' Up. And here's the thing. Stampin' Up was allowed to bring their scissors on board because they were a business and they were running swaps and things and, creating. We had some card making sessions. And when I got to the card making room, there was like 6 or 8 of these scissors sitting on the table. And I just had mine confiscated. And I'm like, oh, look at the table. Look what they've got. And my husband and I spoke to the girl and told them the sad story about my scissors, and she said, take a pair, just take them. So I got some scissors. These are the scissors, and if anything happens to these, I am in big trouble. All right, so that's kind of how it's looking, and I'm thinking we need a greeting of some kind. Now we have some choices. We could go with like a circle greeting, but I don't think that's right. I think that's not right. I have got some stylish shape dies that I went through. I could put one here. That would look good maybe. That one's going to be too big. This one's too big. I wonder what we should say on our greeting. I found some very vanilla like emblems, banners and circles and things like that, and I thought one of those is going to work. Surely one of those is going to work for my. So let me see what I've got. I pull this out a lot. This is the wishing you the brightest birthday. That's really nice. Your friendship means everything. That's really nice. Hey there, Monique. How are you? Ah, hello, Terry. So I'm wondering if this your friendship means everything. That would be nice. I mean, that will fit nicely on a circle, but I don't think the circle is right. Do you guys think? I don't think it is. I think that's wrong. Big and small. Yep, that's what we've ended up with. So let me put this on here, and let's see if I can get this friendship is everything on this little greeting, because I think that's the right one. I'm wondering if it should go up here, actually. Maybe. Oop. All right. Now, do you notice that this is not staying on my block? All right. I stick it on, but it's struggling to stay on. All right. It's on. I'll get it to be on. It'll be okay, but it's lost its stick. And if you want these photopolymer stamps to regain their stick, what happens is they get dirty over time, and it's impossible for it to not happen. It's just how it is. But my suggestion is that you wash them. You wash the stamps in warm soapy water, okay, and then let them dry naturally in the dish drainer or wherever you've done that, and they will regain their stick. Okay, so that's a really good little tip that someone shared with me, and I'm really glad they did, because that's really, really helpful. High sentiment. Okay, thanks, Chris. Let's try that. I'm just going to make sure that this is, oh yeah, that's okay. I'm just making sure. It could be darker. It could be a bit inkier, but this is okay. And let's pop it here. Your friendship means everything. It's such a nice sentiment. Let's pop that on this one. It just fits, doesn't it? But what do you think about there? I know we're not going to do this, but you could put it on there too. But no, I'm not going to. I'm going to leave it just like this. In fact, I'm going to put that on dimensionals. And I feel like it needs, you know, maybe some ribbon and probably some bling. Okay, we have some bling choices. So maybe some copper clay or even some gold. Just making sure that's straight. I think my husband, it's got very quiet out there, and I think my husband might be having a little lie down. He had a big day today. He has a big day. He works 10-hour days. He works 4 days a week, 10-hour days, but some days end up being longer than that. So, yeah, it's a bit tricky for him. So I'm just deciding we could do a linen thread bow and have that down here. That would look nice. We have got this beautiful ribbon, but I just feel like that's going to be a little bit too much. This is the new tartan and vanilla ribbon. We have also got in our annual catalogue, this is the white, but this one is thicker. This is like nearly a centimetre. Is it a centimetre? Yeah, it's a centimetre, whereas this one is only 6.4 millimetres. So this one is considerably thinner. And I think that vanilla and black would look better with this, but I don't think that it's quite right. We could play with this and have a little bit of that poking out from behind. That might look nice. What do you think about that idea? I like this ribbon. This is the new autumn leaves ribbon. We've also got the copper thin ribbon that's super shiny. That would look interesting with this as well. But I'm just going to pull this out and see if I can make it look interesting. Let's pull out the fibers of this. You've got to take it fairly slowly, because I find when you're trying to fray this ribbon that one end, this side here in this case, wants to grab on to the piece that you're pulling loose. And so if you try and go too quickly, it pulls funny on one side. But this is actually pulling out quite nicely. All right, I'm going to grab my ribbon scissors. I'm just going to cut that off. All right, so that, what do we think? Do we like this? The linen? Oh, the linen thread. Oh, okay. Withdrawal symptoms, no vellum. Don't worry, I might do vellum on the second card. What do you think? Well, there is vellum on this card if we do that one. And that was my thinking. All right, so we're thinking linen thread might be better. But okay, all right. After all that, I do love this, and I do think it goes. But let's just have a look and see if I've got any linen thread handy. Oh my goodness, I love my linen thread. It's the best stuff, right? I don't have any handy. It's on the other side of the room. But what I have is very, very close. This is actually the very similar to linen thread looking trim that's in the Naturals trim pack, and this gives you almost exactly the same result. The pack has lots of different colors in it, white, black, different colors. But they're all neutrals, and this one looks like linen thread. I like linen thread, the texture of linen thread better than this, but this is still nice. If you don't have linen thread handy, this can be a good replacement. All right, let's try and get this to sit right. It wants to double over on me. That's all right. I'll make it sit. Let me grab one of these. And let's find a glue dot. There you go. As I fall over myself here trying to get my bow to sit correctly. That's better. Now that I've got the end of it down with the glue dot, it's easier to work with. I'm going to pull it out a little bit. And I could have it down here near these flowers, or I could also have it up here near the sentiment. But let's try that, and then let's try a couple of embellishments. So one option, we could go in with some copper. That would be nice. But what I'm thinking of is the copper clay, which I think might be better. What do you think? Do we like that? Because it's the same as this, but stronger. Let's do that. I think I've made up my mind. Let's play with that. And there are 3 sizes in the copper clay. So you've got small, medium, and large. And a little guy. I should be using my Take Your Pick tool to get this off, because that would work much better. There we go. And I'm going to call that a finished card. What do you think? Do we like it? Are we happy with this? Is there a reason you keep the roll? Okay. Actually, yes, Manic, there is. Now, mine gets a little bit long, but my first glue dot is here. See that? Okay. I need, on some of the packs, okay, on the old ones, it doesn't matter as much anymore, but on the old ones, the glue dots used to be on the outside. Okay, and so what would happen is if you didn't keep a piece of paper that went all the way around and covered up the glue dots, you ended up with glue dots stuck to everything. Okay, it used to drive me absolutely insane. Now that the glue dots are on the inside, it doesn't matter as much because they're not going to stick on everything because they're on the inside. Okay, but once upon a time, it was more of an issue. So this is actually, for me to keep extra paper on the roll is just a habit now. Going back to the days where, but I need to break the habit, because it used to be the other way around, that the glue dots were on the outside instead of the inside. But they've changed it. It took me a while to get used to it. Did anyone else, did that throw anybody else when that first happened? Thank you. I'm glad you like it. It's an easy card, but it took us a little bit of time because we hand cut the flowers. So that did take extra time. Oh, yes, you were mentioning this event coming up on the 23rd. I remember you saying that, Lynn. Oh, no, not Lynn, Leslie. Leslie said that. Sorry, got my L's mixed up. I'm just having a look to see. Well, I hope you never have to go into the dark place again, honey. That's, you know. Did anyone see yesterday was Are You OK Day? Okay, and that's a great day where we remember to check in with our friends to make sure they're doing okay, because everyone has been in a dark place, I think, at some time. So, oh, you re-rolled your first one when it changed. Are you still doing that, or have you got over that now, Chris? The third flower would look good on the inside. What a great idea. That's fabulous. I love that idea, Janine. Yeah, we could. We could stick that down here. Let's do that, shall we? Let's do it. I'm going to whack some Tombow on the back of it, and that's exactly what we're going to do with it. I wish I thought of that myself. But thank you for the suggestion. So now we've got a beautiful flower on the inside too. Look at that. I know the masks are great. They really are, Katrina. I love them. I'm a big fan of masks anyway, but I love these ones with the little notch, and I just think that they look so realistic. They're fabulous. All right. I've got stuff everywhere like usual. I'm just going to push it all out of the way, and we are going to get stuck into doing the other cards. So just give me 1 second. I've actually already pre-cut. I'm doing this card in a class next week, and I've pre-cut some cards ready for the girls to use them. So I've got all my pieces here. And I'm going to show you tonight. So if any of the girls are coming to the Hunter Valley class that I'm doing on Wednesday and you don't want to see me make this card tonight, stop watching now. But I don't think people mind seeing how, you know, because then they have more of an idea of what they're going to be doing when it happens. So I'm getting I've got my basic white thick cardstock here. I'm going to fold it in half to make myself a card base. So let's use the bone folder and pull that in. All right, set that aside. Then I'm using Mossy Meadow. Remember I said before that the colors in this paper, this is that lovely shining Christmas paper. So Cherry Cobbler and Mossy Meadow are the two colors in here. And I'm going to be using these 4 here. And I'm centering them onto my Mossy Meadow cardstock. So I'm going to have one like that. And then I've got my two with the Christmas ornaments on them. And once I've got these where I want them to be, I want to have kind of the same amount of distance in between each one. That's the plan. And let's pop them there. That looks pretty good. I'm happy with that placement. So let's get our Tombow in. So these, if you're wondering where to get these papers, you can only view, you can get them through your demonstrator, or you can go online and purchase them. Okay, so they're not in a catalogue. They're only in the online exclusive pages. If you go and have a little look in the online store, I'll put the link to the online store in the description below the video when I'm done. So I'm just going to... So if you position them out first when you're putting something like this together, it just makes it much easier than trying to, you know, add them from scratch each time. You want to, and if you use Tombow, you can kind of move them into place because you've got a few seconds before it dries. So that really helps. And I want this one directly under the first. And this one down the bottom. love the Harlequin pattern. Looks good, doesn't it? That's so nice when you have a group of friends that lift you up whenever you get together. It's so good. All right, so my base is done. Happy with that. How did I end up so crooked again? Oh, well. Now, here I've got my, this is the new adhesive, the designer series paper. Well, it's the glimmer, silver and gold glimmer paper, but it's adhesive, okay? And you can see if I just use my, even without my fingernails, I can peel that backing off and it's sticky. Yay, no glue required. We're just going to pop that. So it'd be really, really good for an intricate die that you have difficulty putting the glue onto. You know, like, you know how sometimes we go along behind something with, say, Tombow or something like that, and we hope we get it on all the bits. But this stuff, you don't need to. It's adhesive. It's fabulous. All right, so that is going to go here in the middle of my piece. Let's see how easy this is. And then I'm going to put a couple of dimensionals behind that. 3 usually behind the circle is my favorite number. Let's pop them behind there. Question I see, what are the measurements of the cut DSP squares? Elizabeth, you need centimeters or inches? Because I know centimeters off by heart. If it's inches, I need to kind of work out things. If you're happy with it, if you're happy with centimeters, they're 4 centimeters by 6, 4 by 6. Okay, so that makes it easy. You're very good for lettering. Fantastic for lettering. I agree, Glenda. Really, really good. Oh, wow. What a fantastic. When you said your Cliff Richard friends, I wasn't sure what you meant by that, Leslie, but now I understand. That's very cool. All right. So you might see that I've got here, I've got a wishing you a Merry Christmas on a square piece. Now this rectangular piece, this is 3 centimeters by 6. Okay, is that okay, Elizabeth, in centimeters? And the stamp set that we're using for this is actually one that I love from this new catalog. It's called Joy to You, and I love it because they're really big, clear, simple greetings. Super, super, super fabulous. Really, so easy. So I'm using this little one, the wishing you a very Merry Christmas. Okay. If you wanted a bigger one, you could have it, but I didn't want to cover up too much of my beautiful paper, so I didn't. And let me see. Yes, it's back in the pack, the one I want. I'm going to use my Mossy Meadow ink pad, and I've got the wishing you a very Merry Christmas here. Let's pop it on a block. And let's grab my... Where is my Mossy Meadow? It's meant to be in this bag and it isn't. Oh, it's hiding, that's why. I used it on another card earlier tonight. All right, so we're going to ink that up. Now, the only hard thing about doing this with a red rubber stamp is that you need to get directly above it in order to place it correctly. So I'm going to stand up and line this up with my grid paper just to make it easier. And if you mess it up, well, that's when you go and get another piece of paper and give it a second try. Let's see how I went. Ta-da! Looks pretty good. Happy with that. All right, so I use dimensionals again behind this piece. So it's going to go right there, just like that. And we're going to whack a couple of dimensionals behind that. 1 and 2. You've got that stamp set, Leslie. It's great. Isn't it good? Are you happy you got this one? I bet you are. I just thought it was so nice. And I love big, bold words. And I just love that it's clear and simple. Sometimes I love things because it's got beautiful swirly fonts and all that kind of stuff. This one, I love it just because it's simple. All right, so I'm going to pop this now with my Tombow, but you can use whatever glue you happen to have. And I'm going to pop that on there. So I cheated a little bit tonight because I already had this one cut up, ready for a class, and I just used one of the ones I cut up, which means now I need to cut up another one to put back in the bag for the class. But hey, that's all right. All right, now I've used the gold from the brush metallic dots because I've got gold here and I didn't want to mix my metallics, so I got those. And let me just see, I think I've got some right here. These are the brush metallic dots, these guys. They're fabulous. Love them. And like I said, I usually work with groups of 3 when it comes to embellishments. Odd numbers just look better than even numbers for whatever reason. So I've got 1 down here, and then I'm going to put 2 up in this area. So I'll go 1 bigger one, 1 small one, or you can have 2 small ones, whatever works for you. Okay, card is done. There we go. We have a second card. And I'm being a bit sneaky. Let me tell you my sneakiness. For this particular class, I need to have, because it's a big class and sometimes we're on 2 tables, so I always do 2 samples of each card. Guess what? Just did my second sample. So that's being very, very sneaky, isn't it? Don't you think? All right. So how do we do? You like these? This is the one, and this is the other. This one took a lot longer because we had to cut out flowers, but I still think they both turned out pretty nice. And there we go. 2 cards tonight. A lot of Cliff Richard is very, very popular, and for good reason. He's very talented. I've got a friend, her sister just loves Cliff Richard. Wouldn't it be funny if they were the same group of people, Leslie? If we have a colleague in common. All right, guys. Well, I'm actually done for tonight, and we are just on the 1 hour mark. How good is that? How good are we? I hope everyone has a fabulous weekend. I will be back here Sunday night. Moira, I'm going to have my kit ready to show you, and we'll see what we can create with that. I'm glad that you really enjoyed these cards tonight, and thank you for helping me with all of my decision making with all these bits and pieces, and I will see you Sunday. Have a great weekend, you guys. Bye-bye.